Hello, BookTube. Well, it's the end of November. It's November 30th. December is on us right away, and in most of the country, that is being punctuated by Winter Storm Ezekiel, by a big, gnarly winter storm. Not the biggest by any means, and not the gnarliest by any means. And some of the local forecasts for regions, including Boston, are still a little bit spotty. They're still a little bit unresolved. So it's tough to know whether this is going to get a dumping of snow or whether it's going to be mostly, freezing cold sleet and whatnot. It's win-win for Steve. I'm really hoping I can just sit the whole thing out. But the end of November is also the end of Nonfiction November. A venerated BookTube event started by Olive at a Book Olive, in which you're encouraged to read more nonfiction, to explore the worlds of nonfiction, and maybe, by extension, to counter what may be a disposition probably instilled by school against reading nonfiction. The whole point of Nonfiction November is to get rid of that any kind of break on that process and get you to sort of embrace it. And as a result, you've been seeing, Olive's been making a ton of great videos on totally inviting nonfiction. I've been trying to make a ton of them myself, and so have a lot of other people. And it's been a joy. It's been a joy to watch. And it's been a joy to have so many people come forward and remind all of their listeners, all of their viewers, that nonfiction has every bit as many wonders and enchantments in it as fiction. And I have been saying that on this channel all along. Of course, I've sometimes had a hard time disguising my knee-jerk scorn for the made-up stories, even though some of them I love. Obviously, there are quite a few of them in this room. But I wanted to take a minute. I mean, I don't have anything special to show you today about nonfiction. We'll continue to talk about nonfiction on this channel more than we talk about fiction. My own stats for the month of November were pretty good. I read 111 books, and 109 of them were nonfiction. I only read 2 works of fiction because I was not commissioned to review any fiction in the course of the month. And that left only my read-alongs, which were 2 novels. so I had a pretty good reading month, and all of it was nonfiction. That's just fantastic. I can't keep that up, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I can't do that because in addition to being paid to review books, I also want to keep abreast of them. My lunatic goal is to keep abreast of American publishing in major genres, and that means I can't ignore any of them. Much as I might sometimes like to when I'm reading the 15th upper-middle-class Connecticut divorce novel with one derivative of prose, I might want to just write off fiction altogether, but I'm not doing it, so I'll go back to my usual percentages in December. But those were good stats, but I really wanted to make this quick video just to ask you how your Nonfiction November went. Did you take part in Nonfiction November? Did you take a look at your nonfiction consumption and maybe try to increase it? I've watched a lot of videos. I probably haven't watched a fraction of what's out there because when Olive extends her reach and gets us all on board, her reach is pretty broad. So I probably missed a lot of videos, but the many that I've seen have been wonderful, with people exploring nonfiction and then reporting back on it. That is just great. And I'm wondering how you did. I mean, for some of you out there, this will be your 5th Nonfiction November. Long may it rain. So in addition, I wanted to do those 2 things. 3 things really. I wanted to give you a brief, just my stats briefly. My stats are freakish anyway. It's not, of course, those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time will know that those stats are not meant to brag, of course. They are, if anything, just the opposite. All I do is read. And you would rack up the same numbers. If all you did was read, you would rack up the same numbers. So I wanted to do that. And I also wanted to check in on you all and see how did you like Nonfiction November. Olive had great prompts. She had a whole bunch of great social media stuff on Twitter and Instagram. So that would have been a lot of fun as well. Did it move the needle at all? Did it help you? Did it cement your love of nonfiction, make you want to read more of it? The percentage split, 80-20 or whatnot. What's your own percentage split? And did it increase because of Nonfiction November? There's a lot out there, a lot of it. And the third reason for this quick video, it's unscripted. I let everybody in Steve Donoghue Studios go home for the holidays, so this is, there's no ring lights, there's no nothing like that. I may even just directly upload this without editing it. Oh, good. But the third reason for this little video is also to, doff the hat to Olive. I think we should all do that. She's going to make a farewell video for Nonfiction. I'm sure November. I'm sure she will. feel free to tootle over to her comments and thank her. It's a huge amount of work. It doesn't look it on that end of the camera, but it is a huge amount of work to create and host an event of this size and this age, with this many people paying attention to it. So hats off to all. A round of golf clap. It was a wonderful job. It was a wonderful event. I'm going to miss it. But like I said, I'm not going to miss it all that much because I will miss it, but I read a lot of nonfiction anyway. It's a very large part of my livelihood and also my favorite thing to read. So there we go. We're going to wrap up Nonfiction November for 2019, and I'm already eager for Nonfiction November in 2020. Well, that's all the point of this video was, is this bid a fond farewell to one of my favorite BookTube events, and to ask you all how you did. What you make of Nonfiction November. Do you have any great discoveries? I want to hear about them all, of course, in my comments field, or also keep in mind, now that I'm back here in the Little Book Room, I will leave my email down below. Feel free to email me about Nonfiction November or anything else. But I'm going to wrap this up, and I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.